And so I really haven't taught a class like this since like 2011. So forgive me if I'm rough, but I've got a slideshow, whatever, a PowerPoint kind of thing, and y'all are going to get a copy of that. Plus, Henry said that this is being videotaped on
That's
Zoom.
right.
Yeah, and so that will be available for you to watch later. And also here at the store, I'm at the Bynum General Store, the retired country store in Pittsburgh. Uh, we This is where I used to get my mail in the mailboxes here, and we're also filming this and recording it here. So we'll have at least two recordings of it, and Chuck has got a screenshot of what's coming off of my screen, and he's also got a actual visual camera on my screen and visual camera on me. So there will be lots of ways for you to come back and see what we did, because we're going to probably move pretty fast. And don't be overwhelmed. Just lay back and have fun because it's Saturday, and we will get to rolling. And you will have backup. The other thing is on the third Tuesdays of the month, we normally we have a storytelling workshop on second Tuesdays of the month on Zoom. And on the third Tuesdays, I'm going to open up an office hours from 7 to 9. Or if you need help at some other time, I will be glad to do like a video call with you, and you can share your screen and I can talk you through what you're doing while I'm watching what you're doing on your screen, just like I would if I was sitting at your elbow at your house.
Great.
So anyway, so don't get overwhelmed, don't get scared. This is what I call slaying the dragons. I had a computer teacher, my first computer teacher ever. He said his first words out of his mouth in the first class I ever took, he says, "How does Fred spell relief?" You know, remember the old Rolaids commercial, "How do you spell relief?" And he says, it's READ. And so basically, if you get stuck, read the screen, and if you can't figure it out, just send me a message, or send Robin a message. I'm on the North Carolina Storytelling Guild directory. Just send me a message, and we'll set up a time where I could sit down and work with you. If you can't come on Tuesday night, we can sit down and do a little personal stuff. Okay? Is everybody cool with all that?
Hold on.
All right. And who all do we have here? We got Sharon.
Yeah.
And Sharon is a friend of mine, and I asked her to join us today because she's been asking me about social media. So she's my invited guest. And Tim, goodness, you're looking nice today. Very nice.
I took myself off camera because I'm eating, and that is not something you want to see. Slurp, slop, gom.
Listen, I've got the worst overbite in the history of the world, so I don't even like to drink Pepsi on camera, but y'all are just going to have to deal with me today.
Okay. Well, let me start the meeting while Cindy's doing whatever she's doing.
I'm ready when y'all are.
But I'm going to present Cynthia. This is Cynthia Raxter. She's got her name on her page there. And she's been doing Bynum Front Porch since time began. And lots of different people run over to Bynum and they tell stories, even if the pay ain't that great. But she just loves storytelling so much, we all run over there. She used to be a librarian, and she started out, to my knowledge, as a comedian, and then she wiggled her way over into storytelling. And she is a mighty guru of social media. Even though she's got that little bitty store over there, when she has things she puts on Facebook, tons of people show up. I mean, me and Lona Bartlett were over there doing storytelling, and doggone it, we didn't have like 800 people. And, and I was like, okay, this is during the pandemic. So anyway, that's who she is. So take it away, and while I eat.
Okay, cool. Let me get it's like now I can't find my window.
Well, just start talking about social marketing.
Okay, all right. Let me get to the right spot. Okay, and I'm gonna start sharing my screen, and y'all can really see how totally like. Hold on, there we go. Come on. There we are. Robin, it's
You're not a co-host, so I think I need to make you a co-host.
oh, okay. That's what's wrong because it's not letting me get the screen back.
Yeah, so let me see participants, and then I'm gonna go to Cynthia Raxter, and I'm gonna go to more, and
Oh,
say make
I see.
host. Okay, there you go. Now you're there. Okay, now you can do
Okay. Okay, good. And I got my agenda over here on the right. And y'all give me just a second because
I do not see it.
I'm getting ready to share screen right now.
Hey,
If
Johnny.
somebody needs to stop, if you need to get up and go to the restroom and want me just to pause for a minute, or the dogs, like in my house, the dog starts barking and I have to go outside and get him. If you need me to pause for a second, it's totally okay. We'll all just stand up and stretch or whatever. Just wave your hands, or if I'm sharing the screen, just it's okay for you to speak out if you need to. Okay.
I would like to mention that Cynthia's going to have her act together, and Tim Lowry now looks like Tim Lowry. Before he had a picture of himself up there, and he looked like a girl. Which is all right with me, whatever floats your
Well,
boat.
you guys are all, except for Robin and Tim, I don't think, and Sharon, I don't think I've worked with any of y'all. Is that true?
Probably
Okay.
not.
Okay. Well,
We're all on mute,
we're all on mute. Okay. All right.
except for you and me.
Share screen. Oh my gosh, I got it. Share.
Okay,
All right.
there you go.
Can y'all see a bunch of stuff on the laptop and my?
You got it. You got to make your thing bigger.
Yes, I understand. I understand. Hold on.
Now I'm going to shut up. I believe you got it.
Okay. Well, it's going to take me just a second to get my ducks in a row here. Okay. I just making sure that I've got all my little windows open here. And I need one more. There we are. Okay. All right. There we are. All right, let me make this one big. I don't know how to use a computer, y'all. I only taught computer classes from 1983 on, and I like nowadays I stay on the phone so much I don't even know how to use a computer hardly. So
Listen to me. I will help you.
okay, cool.
You're supposed to put that on your desktop, and if you put it on your desktop, most of that other stuff will not show up. But I don't know that I can fix it from here. You need to close the edit event Facebook, and you need to close your channel content YouTube.
Okay, well I actually had them
Well,
open
maybe
because
you
I'm
got
going to be
that
using them.
Okay.
Okay, well let me close them.
I think you only need one thing at a time.
Okay, hold on a second.
Well, it's 10 after. We got to get jiggy.
I know, honey. I know, honey. Give me just a minute. All right.
The reason I'm being so mean is I'm the president of the guild. And I have my scepter.
I'm trying to make this full screen, and that's my deal here. That's what I'm working on right now. It's making this full screen. Sorry. All right. And it's still not right. Sorry, y'all. Okay. Well, for whatever it's worth, I'm just going to show you all the screen that I've been working on. So that's it. Social media marketing, and y'all are interested in social media, so I don't have to preach to the choir too much. But the okay, just a second. All right. Just to give you a few quick stats, 35 billion social media users worldwide. Facebook is most popular. The young kids, 90% of them are, and when we get down to the baby boomers, we're talking about almost 50% of baby boomers are using social media. This is the big one right here. Folks spend an average of 3 hours per day on social networks and messaging. And if you thought about putting a poster up at the grocery store or announcement in your church bulletin to advertise an event you have, think of it being available to a person to look at for 3 solid hours every single day. It's like you had put it in front of their car window and made them drive down the highway with your poster potentially in front of it. So what I'm going to help y'all do today is learn a few tricks to help get your events and your news out to people and it get noticed, because there is so much going on social media and it is so overwhelming, even for me who uses it all the time. Um, that's why I call it slaying the dragons, because it's social media is a big huge dragon, and we're just going to hack away at a toenail here and a toenail there. And y'all know how sensitive toenails are. If you hit a toenail in the right place, your whole body knows it. And that's what we're doing, is we're going to be hitting Facebook on the right toenails, or YouTube, or Messenger, or Instagram. 73% of advertising executives think that social media is somewhat effective or very effective. I would say it is extremely effective, but you have to know some tricks. And 54% of social browsers, in other words, people using social media, use social media to research things. And my big sort of idea that most people don't have is entertainment is a product. Storytelling is a product. How do people spend their leisure time, or how people spend their time period, is a product. And so what we are doing is getting the word out to people so they will know about our product. And 71% of consumers with positive experiences, in other words, if they come to your event or your class and they're not as dumb and acting as stupid as I am this morning, people with a positive experience are likely to recommend your product to someone else. In other words, one good storytelling Zoom is going to spawn maybe 2 or 3 more viewers the next time you do a storytelling Zoom. And that's why we have had people come into these storytelling shows online since we started last March, and we've been putting out good music programs and good storytelling programs, quality storytellers, quality music. And this person has told that person, has told that person, and literally if we've had to cancel for one reason or the other, like the internet was down here in Bynum one night, or there was really bad storms, we had electricity going in and out, we've had people almost crying because they've not been able to watch the show that night. So positive experiences mean that people will come back next week and they'll bring their neighbors with them, bring somebody else with them. And 49% of consumers depend on influencers. And influencers are people I like to call early adapters, or people that are what I call also the bleeding edge, not the cutting edge of technology, but the kids that are there with the iPhones, with their laptops, your Aunt Martha that happens to be the really technically savvy one in the family. She is out on Facebook every single hour of every single day. So when she finds something good, she tells everybody she knows about it. And she reminds people to go out there, and redeem the coupons at coupons.com, or she reminds people to go get, download their coupons for electronically for foodlion.com or whatever. Aunt Martha is the person that keeps her pulse on technology. So she is an influencer. Those are the people that you want to think about that is in your circle. And those are the people that you want to contact and say, hey, Aunt Martha, share this event for me. Or, hey, Aunt Martha, we're going to be doing this on Saturday. I would love it if you would watch the comments and comment back to people when they say something about, liking storytelling or whatever. And in other words, put her at the door of the church, welcoming folks and shaking their hands and inviting people to be there, because this is a world where she is very comfortable, where other people may not be. The other thing is 5 million Instagram stories are uploaded daily. Storytelling is made for social media, and social media is made for storytelling. It's a new idea. It's a new concept. It's something that's just been developed in the last, since 1998 was the first, I think, social media website was called MySpace. So it's something that's just developed in the last like 20, 22 years or something like that. But the idea of standing under a tree and telling stories is older than Chaucer, which was what, 1360 or something, that Chaucer was out telling stories under trees. When we're on Facebook or we're on Instagram loading up photos, all we're doing is standing under a virtual tree. So just start thinking of it that way. And if a dragon comes along, we're going to hit it on the toenails with a hammer so it'll pay attention. And the other big thing is 91% of folks using social media are doing it on mobile devices. So if you don't have a smartphone and you're not posting like 2 or 3 times a day on with your smartphone, this, and you don't have to, you don't have to do anything big. Just a picture of, maybe a story that you're working on, like you've got an old hat and a cane that belonged to your grandpa, and you've got that on your desk because you're trying to come up with this story that that you want to tell about your grandpa. Take a picture of that and post it on Instagram. That puts you back in contact with the people that are your fans, the people that love you, the people that want to hear your stories, and it helps you find more people that like to hear stories about grandpas, and maybe their grandpa walked without a cane just that looked just like that one. So that's the thing. Get your phone. It's like I tell people that run restaurants, when that piece of lemon meringue pie comes out of the kitchen and it looks gorgeous and beautiful, and there's those little wet beads on the meringue where the sugar's kind of, as drawn some moisture out of the air. When that piece of lemon meringue pie comes out of the kitchen at their restaurant, they need to be taking a picture of it and posting it on social media. They might as well be getting a commercial on WRAL during the middle of the 6 o'clock news, because it's going to be that effective. And the same with you, with the picture of your dad's cane or your grandpa's hat or whatever. So that's real quick on the statistics. All right, and let's see, next here. The difference between the commercial on WRAL on the 6 o'clock news and social media is the emphasis is on social and the soulfulness. We think about our lives these days, we're, in and out of the car, we're working, 6, 12, 14 hours a day. We're, working from home now because of COVID. We're not seeing people. We're not able, to go see our community. We go to the community center or go to the senior center or go to the, even I haven't been to a grocery store but like 3 times in the past year. So social media is think of it as soulful. And the emphasis of social media marketing needs to be on the social, the word social. It needs to be less on soulless. In other words, think of the aggravating, irritating car commercial that, it's like the same car. It's like you watch TV, there's the same commercial for a Toyota or a Lexus or a Prius or a BMW. It's like, oh, and that's when you get up and go to the kitchen and get a fresh glass of milk. So think of it more as soulful. So don't ever worry about being corny or being homespun. We have built a social media empire here in this old country store by being corny and homespun. So social media is a community, and treat it that way. Treat the people that you meet on social media like your neighbors. Keep your posts chatty. Don't be afraid to have fun. One of my favorite stories is there's a cafe in downtown Chapel Hill, or Carborough actually, called Elmo's Diner. And they've got a sign on the wall that says unattended children will be given an espresso and sent home with a free puppy. And it's like I've always appreciated that sign because they take something that is precious to people like their children that's a lot of times are not monitored very well at a restaurant situation, but they put up this little fun sign, and but it soaks in. And even though Elmo's Diner is a tiny little crowded place, when there's not COVID going on, there's no kids running up and down the aisles. If you go to other restaurants in Chapel Hill that are quote unquote family friendly, the parents are going to be sitting there talking and not paying attention whatsoever. And the youngins are going to be running up and down the aisles and knocking into the waitresses or the trays or whatever. So don't be afraid to have fun. And like I said, be a little corny and be a little homespun on the social media. The other thing is sharing is caring. You'll see that a lot. Some people they'll post a recipe on their blog and they'll put a little logo down at the bottom that says sharing is caring. That's for true, because we don't have people subscribing to us like the News and Observer or the Durham Morning Herald has people subscribing. We just have people la 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 prancing down the road, and if one of their neighbors, their Aunt Martha, the influencer, shares your event, that means that they care enough about you to promote what's going on. Because if you don't have people out there promoting what's going on, there's so much going on that you'll get lost in the big huge scheme of things. So, and the other thing is I repost to the art. I repost stuff from the Chatham County Arts Council, from like the Hillsborough Street Fair. Uh, when I see something going on up in Asheville, that I grew up outside Asheville in the town of Brevard. When I see something going on up there, there's either like a high school class play, or there's going to be a big ball game, or there's a blood drive at the high school, whatever. I share that, and people remember, who I am and know who I am. And so when I am doing storytelling shows here in Bynum, I've got half the people that I went to high school with that are watching my storytelling shows. And it's not because I'm any great big thing. I mean, it's incompetent as a storyteller as I am at Zoom, obviously. But anyway, but the thing is I look out for people and help people out on Facebook. I do that in real life, and people know that about me, and so they look out and care for me. So if you scratch their back, they'll scratch yours. And keep forefront in your mind, who can I help with this news? At the Bynum Front Porch, we aim for people that are in the Navy and deployed, in the the Air Force, the Navy SEALs, whatever. We live stream our storytelling show and our music shows, and we share directly to the page for about 6 destroyers and aircraft carriers, and in actual forts, Fort whatever, Fort Bliss or Fort something another, Dumbledorf or whatever in Germany. Because we've gotten contact from people that have sons or daughters or nephews in the Army, or nieces in the Air Force or whatever, and they say, hey, she's stationed in Alabama. Would you share this with her, and she'll be sharing it to the people that she's working with there at the Air Force Base. So
Yeah, I work for the Air Force and the National Guard, so I got a question. I
yes,
could not post anything on any federal
yes,
without
I'm going to show
permission.
you.
Okay.
I'm going to show you how to share that information with them, and they post it for you. Like
Okay.
we post to the AARP national site, to a couple of their foundation sites, and also to AARP North Carolina and all the other states whenever we're having an event. AARP, most of the AARP state level and several of the national level almost always reshare our music show or our storytelling show. And there may be 50,000 people following the AARP North Carolina page, and they're resharing it for us. The other thing is, don't ever hesitate to say thank you, give kudos, or ask for help. And this is just This is just neighborly stuff. Y'all know this as well as I do. If your neighbor leaves you fresh green beans and tomatoes on the porch, you say thank you very much. And next time you go into town and happen to be by the bakery, you get them a loaf of bread. Just this is just social media is emphasis on the word social. The other thing is pictures are worth 1,000 words. I'm talking too much right now and I know it, so I'm going to move along. And one of my favorite applications, I was actually one of the first users on Twitter many years ago when the dinosaurs roamed the earth. I learned really early how to write concise and pithy content. And my tech, Chuck, that's sitting here behind me running the soundboard for me today and the cameras and so forth, he's like, okay, I need you to put that magic, that firefly magic on it. I wrote a press release for a music program that we have that's outside in the summertime on Friday nights, every single Friday night. And in the bottom paragraph, the very last paragraph, I said something about bring a young'uns, we'll teach them how to bang the screen doors. About dark 30, the dancing commences in earnest, and the fireflies um, are flittering about. And people are dancing in earnest under the light of the fireflies as the moon rises. I did not sell a music program in that message. I sold the idea that they would be here with their family, with their loved ones, and they would be having a good time and they would be letting go and breathing. And that's really a rare thing now now in this day and age, or at least it was before COVID. So 142 characters, keep people's attention, make it pithy, uh, put visual clues in there, just like you do storytelling. If you tell a story about a cornfield, you tell that story so people can smell the corn, they can smell the earth, they can feel the shucks in their hands and see the silks glinting in the sun. You want to do the very same thing with your ad copy, with your event copy. And remember, the goal is to be soulful, and that's soulful and soulful, because there's so much soulless entertainment. If you watch any of the commercial reality shows, like my sister's a big Desperate Housewives fan. She's like the poster child for Bravo TV. She works as a nurse. She deserves a little bit of frivolity in her life. I give her that. She earns every single minute she sits on a couch and watches Bravo. But Bravo, I've never seen anything on there that was very soulful. And but a storytelling program or one of our homespun music programs, they are very soulful, and people miss that. And when they find it, they are hungry for it, so they come back. All righty, so let's go along here.
Cynthia,
Yes.
I just did a search on getting into full screen from Google Docs. If you hit the F11 key, it should go
Okay.
to full screen.
Thank you.
I don't know if that'll work, but that's what it says.
F11.
It claims that will take up the whole screen.
Well, guess what? I don't have an F11 key.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. Keep going.
Okay. All right. And there's a picture of my favorite sign. Unattended children will be given espresso and a free puppy. Just don't ever forget to. And a picture's worth 1,000 words, right there. All right. Now, first thing we're going to talk about is Messenger and Instagram. We're getting into the pith of it now. I'm going to stop running my mouth so much. And we'll go back to our key statistics and why we need to learn, or why we should learn these things, or want to learn these things. So, and 3 hours a day. Just think about somebody standing in front of that church bulletin board for 3 hours. And 5 million Instagram stories. And I'm going to teach you how to do an Instagram story and a Messenger story. And we're going to start with Messenger. You know what? I think Maybe this will help, Robin.
It's not a crisis. I just happen to have time and I looked it up.
Okay.
You're in Google Docs and it says to start the presentation in Google Docs, hit F11. So that's why. See,
Does it give you?
if you were in, but you're not in it, and I'm not taking up time to fix this. I just thought I could do something quick, but you were fine just a minute ago. Go back to how you were.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm just
proceed without my smart ideas. Goodbye.
Oh no, I appreciate your smart ideas. Usually you just double click on the first slide and it rolls. So again, I'm sorry, I've not been teaching classes and I'm obviously very rusty, so my apologies.
Don't apologize. Just you're doing good. Goodbye.
I'm actually going to be giving y'all some screenshots from my phone, and again, this is going to be in the PDF document that I'll share with you. So don't worry about taking, copious notes or whatever. And I pretty much have, this is just screenshots. I have an Android phone. If you have an iPhone, this works the same way. I went swimming for 3 hours with my really good Samsung phone a couple of years ago. And so my brother gave me a track phone that was a off-brand Chinese track phone. But it happened to have an Android operating system, and I used it for 3 years before I just about 3 months ago got a new phone. So even on an off-brand track phone, you can do this. And this is Facebook Messenger is a chat client that is put out by Facebook. You do not actually have to be on Facebook to use it. And if you do use Facebook and somebody ever sends you a chat message, you get this aggravating and irritating little window that pops up at the very bottom of, like, down here in the toolbar part of your screen. And it's really irritating to use. Facebook Messenger, and I'm going to open this up on my computer so you can see it. Actually go into a full screen here. And I'm wondering, yeah, that works better, doesn't it? You can see a little bit more. But anyway, this morning I shared a story to Instagram and Facebook Messenger, and then I sent Alan. It happened to be a picture of Alan Hole here. It was a picture of Alan Hole on stage here at the Bynum Front Porch. This is where his chair is. It's where I'm actually sitting right now. And they've got the Sounds of the Mountain storytelling show going on right now. And I posted this. And everybody that logs into Facebook Messenger for the next 24 hours that knows me is going to get this little window pop up, and it's going to show it to them.
Can you tell me a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps? First, I open my phone, then I press this key, then I
yes,
press.
Yes, ma'am. That's where I'm heading. Yes, ma'am. That's where we're going, Robin. Okay. The first thing is I find the picture in my gallery. I open my phone, and you can go to your camera and display photos that you've taken, or you can actually go to the gallery on the phone. It's on my Samsung, it's called a gallery, or on Android phone, it's called a gallery. I will have to look it up what's called on the iPhone. I cannot remember at this moment. But if you'll notice down at the bottom where this window is here, just a little bit. There we go.
Cynthia,
right there.
On iPhone, it's just called the pictures.
Oh, okay.
Or photos.
Yeah, that's too simple. Well, and you can also use, if you use Google Photos or any of the social media, like Amazon Photos, any of those guys, at any point in time, you can right click on a photo and share it. So all I did is on my gallery or on my pictures, whichever you're on, iPhone, or thank you for telling me that, on either the iPhone or the Android, you just click on the little share button. Let me knock this down just a little bit. Okay. There's just a little share button down at the bottom. I've got it circled there. You can just barely see the edge of it. It looks like a wire, like a forked wire. And so that's the share button. And on my screen, let me get my Zoom window out of the way here. And on my phone, it gives me options. I can go to Messenger, I can go to Google Photos, I can go to Facebook, I can go to Instagram, I can go to Pinterest, I can go to Gmail. So you just pick which photo you want to share. And in this case, I picked Messenger. Okay. It was Facebook Messenger. That's that little whirligig, whirly, like a wave. It's like a little purple and white wave right there. That's what I picked. Okay. And on the next screen you get, there'll be a little this window on the left over here. There'll be a little pop-up. There's their photo that you've been using, or that you want to use, and there is an alphabet symbol. If you click on the alphabet symbol, you will get a keyboard, and you can type whatever you want. And when you get through typing, you click the done button, and whatever you've typed will show up on the photo, and you can move it around and get it where you want on the photo. You see here, I got it over to the side so it's not covering up Alan's face. By default, it would have been right here in the center and just covering up exactly where Alan was, but I got it over to the side. And actually, I think I probably went back and clicked on the A again and hit return a couple extra times so I could make it long and narrow instead of, wide and across. So anyway, you just play with it, go back and forth to the keyboard 2 or 3 times, move the block of text around with your pointer, your finger, and when you get it where you like it, all you have to do is click at the very bottom, which you can't see for this Zoom window. Okay. At the very bottom is a blue button that says done. Okay. So when you get done, you click done. And on the third window that you get, since I had selected that little wave symbol at the beginning, the rainbow colored purple and white wave, and I put my text on there. When I clicked that I was done with my photo, it opened Facebook Messenger for me and gave me an option of people that I could send it to. There's Sarah Beth Nelson, who's a storyteller, lives in Wisconsin now, is originally from Georgia. Robin, Lona, Krista, and Sheila, that's people's going to be my storytellers for May. I've got a group created. These are people that I worked with at the Health Sciences Library years ago. Charles, Martha, Ron, that's the people that are on the Vine and Front Porch board. So at any point in time, I can share this with people that are storytellers, people that are really good storytellers, my cousin, friends of mine, my favorite sound man, or people I worked with in the past. And this is true for anything where there is a share button or share this with others. There'll be an arrow, share this with others, or that little forked piece of wire symbol. And you click on Messenger, you get to this window right here, and you can pick and choose who you want to send to. And that's just people. You can also send it to businesses, and you can send it to places like the USS Barry or the Coast Guard Station in Charleston, or you can send it to the Fort Leavenworth in Kansas. You can send it wherever you want. It doesn't matter. AARP North Carolina, AARP California, AARP Illinois, the USO, and every single country on this earth. So wherever you're at, you can send this little advertisement to your local church or to the cathedral at St. Paul, if this cathedral, the folks at the Cathedral of St. Paul would be interested in it. There's there's another little window down here. I'll show y'all in a minute. I sent
Cynthia,
this. Yes.
Cynthia, it's John.
Hi, John.
Hey, can we do this from the computer, from the,
Yes.
'cause I've got so many more photos that I would use loaded in
Yes.
pictures on my computer.
What kind of computer do you use? Do you have a MacBook or a? I'm going to stop share for a second so I can see your faces.
Yeah.
What kind of?
it's
Do you have a
laptop.
MacBook or you got a what?
It's a laptop, not a
Windows?
standard Windows. Yeah, laptop.
Okay. Well, I've got a standard Windows too. I think it's a Windows laptop. It's an HP. It's about 5 years old, maybe.
Yeah.
And you go to the Microsoft store, and you
Okay.
get this. And I'm going to get the app up so I can show you. But the little, let me turn the screen share back on. Okay. Okay. All right. Right here at the very bottom of my toolbar. Can you see it?
No, like what at the bottom of your?
There it is.
You,
There it is. It's coming up.
you
It's
mean
opening.
your Zoom toolbar or?
This is my system toolbar at the bottom.
I
Down here
don't.
at the very, very bottom.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Mhm.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we've got Chrome.
Yeah.
I've got, I think, a Windows. There's a calculator, a couple other little things like that. But
Yeah.
here is that rainbow colored symbol with the wave.
Right.
And what I did was I actually went to the Microsoft Windows store.
Okay.
It's a thing. Like there's an iTunes store, and there's a Google Play, or where you get apps for your Google phone, your iPhone. There is a Microsoft store. There's not a whole lot of apps out there, but the big ones are, like such as Facebook or Instagram or Messenger.
And this is you're accessing this on the computer.
Yes, sir. Right now, this very minute, I'm accessing it on the computer.
Okay.
That's what's opening. The Zoom takes a lot of memory, and I've got to upgrade my laptop. Robin will tell you how many times she sat on the other end of a Zoom or a Google Meet with me, or on a on a live storytelling stream, and I've been crying because my computer's not working.
Okay. I need to know one thing. I am on the Microsoft store, Microsoft.com store.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking for a search term to put in to find the name of the application. What is the name?
You could put Facebook space Messenger, or just Messenger by itself will get it for you. If you would like for me to, after the Zoom is over, I will send you a link to it if you would like. When I send the PDF, I can send the links to the actual applications if you'd like, so you don't have to do searches. But this is just being slow because Zoom is open, and I'm sharing the screen, and it's raining and the moon's full or something. So, but anyway, but this is the same window that you saw in the screenshots.
Yeah. You know what I got is one
is what's on my on my laptop.
Now I went to Microsoft.
Say again, Robin.
Well, go ahead, John. When I found out, and then go to John, I went and searched Facebook Messenger, and then up came 96 applications. And the one that looked applicable said one Messenger, Skype, Slack, free. And then the rest of them seemed to cost money. Likebook on Facebook, Messenger costs $3.95, so forth like that.
No, it should not cost any money.
All right.
It should. The author will be in Facebook Incorporated.
All right. Okay.
And the screenshots should look like this window here on my right, where like Allen Hole is listed.
Mhm.
There
Okay.
should be a screenshot that looks like that Allen Hole. Okay, we're getting the things open up here over here.
Okay, so let's go and see what John
Uh-oh.
used mine.
Well,
Okay, while you do that,
I went to entered, I think, my Microsoft Windows Store, and then it offered me some options up top, and I chose Windows, and now I'm looking at
Uh-huh.
it says, okay, Windows, okay, so Windows 10, but it looks like this is just selling computers. Yeah, how to get Windows 10, buy Windows 10. No, that's not what I want.
No, no. If y'all will just, I will send you a link for it,
Okay.
and you'll go
All
directly to it.
Okay, I was just
Okay.
trying to go along with you, but we can skip the hands-on practice.
Yeah, and
can send us
the reason I'm doing screenshots on this is because it works so much slicker on my phone. That's why because exactly like this, what is happening right now, where it took 5 minutes or 3 minutes to get this window open that you're seeing now. So anyway, so that's why I did screenshots, because sometimes my laptop is not very fast, and I didn't want y'all to have to sit there for 2 or 3 minutes to watch what I was doing. I just took screenshots from my phone. But here's the actual window that I had the screenshot of, and so and to within Messenger, you can forward. If somebody sends you something that you want to share, you can forward it, and it'll give you that list of people that you can forward to, or the group of people. Like I've got the Bynum Church Road neighbors.
Can I say something about the use of it on your computer?
I'm sorry?
Can I say something about the use of Messenger on your computer?
Uh-huh.
So you can do it from a web browser. You don't need special software. You don't need to get anything from the store. Just go to Facebook on your web browser, and there will be a button around the top that says Messenger, and you can do all the Messenger things right there from a browser.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
It's just got more functionality if you have the app.
Cynthia,
Yes. But yes,
I'm on Facebook, and I have access to Messenger. One of the problems that I've found with Messenger on Facebook is you get a lot of phishing. You get a lot of bogus stuff from people who claim to be people but aren't.
You have to look at profiles, and there's one right now that's going around that says, I think this is you, and it looks like a YouTube link, but it's not. It's a scam. It's just like email, or I'm getting text messages right now that says your UPS package has been delayed, because I get updates from UPS like every other day, because I'm ordering something, on a package of some kind. And so I'm getting a text message saying your UPS package has been delayed. Please click this link for more updates. And so I click that link. Well, it goes to a scammer site. So it's like anything else you use these days. You just buyer beware. If you open something, and my sister got hacked yesterday, and she had to change. She hid her account. She changed her password. She finally ended up deactivating her account, because whoever it was sending messages to all of her friends. So, and she's been on Facebook since before I was. I've been on Facebook since like 2008. She was on it before I was. So I like using the app much better than I like using an interface, either on the website or on Facebook itself. And I think you get a lot more functionality out of it. Whatever you're comfortable with, if you want to just use it off the website, then that's fine. It'll work 99% of the time exactly the way I'm talking about. Here's the message I sent to Alan Hole this morning, and I said, I've posted your event on Instagram and on Facebook, and he answered back and said, thanks a lot. And so it's a really good way, I think, to communicate with folks. This is when he was here last month, and I took a picture of him and I said, you look great. 2 minutes later, he answered back, says, y'all make me look great. He did a really good job. Robin was also on that show too, and she telling the Boudreaux and Thibodeau stories, which I totally love. Anyway, I got squirrel. I get distracted easily. So I'm going to just minimize this window. So if y'all have any other questions about that, we'll go on. But you get the idea. You can create your story, and with just a blurb on it, you can say, I'm having storytelling Saturday night at 7 p.m. and then share it. Don't share it 10 times in 1 week, because sharing is caring, but you don't want to, make a pest of yourself. And when I talked about, if you scratch their back, they'll scratch yours. And the reason I learned that is I was in school at UNC and a business degree, and got a degree in marketing. And the famous ad campaign of all time is the ad campaign called Got Milk, because there was dairy farmers that got together in a coalition, and they said, hey, as long as, Borden Milk is advertising against Mayola Milk, who's advertising against Biltmore Milk, who's advertising against, somebody else in Virginia, we're all advertising against each other. Why don't we just want people to drink more milk, period? And so why don't we get together and pool all of our funds, instead of trying to, ping over here with a little bitty hammer and ping over there with a little bitty stick and ping over. Let's just get one big advertising hammer and create an ad campaign and make it really good. And so this famous ad agency came up with the ad campaign called Got Milk, and it's still being used today. I think it's been used for like 30 years now. And it was the first time that there was cooperative sharing and coordination with the commodity. And the movie A Beautiful Mind, where the mathematician, the economist, was coming up with the sharing theory. These guys used that theory to come up with the idea of sharing. If we bring everybody up with us, we all grow faster and exponentially more than we do trying to do it all by ourselves. So sharing is caring. Remember the dairy farmers that got together and came up with the idea of a unified campaign called Got Milk. I promote storytelling. I promote the arts. I promote local food folks. I promote, the blood drives at the high school where I graduated in Bavard. Sharing is caring. People know that, and they will remember it. Yes, my mic is off again. Okay, the battery must be dead. Okay, sorry, y'all. We're having battery issues this morning. We have these beautiful wireless microphones, and they eat batteries like it's like they're a Christmas toy. Do they not? Okay, you can hear me fine. Okay, good.
Going.
Okay, good. All right. Now, okay, so we've got. Let me get back to my windows here, and I need to scroll down over here, y'all. All right. So the other thing that we have is events. We have on Facebook, and we will go more into events in a few minutes on Facebook. But I just wanted to show y'all, this is one of the super tricks that we came up with here at Bynum Front Porch. on Facebook, you create events and you invite your neighbors to them and you invite people you know to them, but you can't invite somebody if they're not your friend. You can't even invite the USS Barry or the Coast Guard station in Charleston's. You can only invite people that you know, and you're limited to the number of people you can invite. Facebook has kind of figured out that I'm a community organizer. So for almost all events, they'll give me like 500 invites, but they get mad at me if I start inviting people to too many things. Like we're getting ready to have music shows here at the Bynum General Store, and we have music shows in the summer every single week. So every single week, I'm trying to invite like 400 or 500 people to a music event. And Facebook thinks I'm a spammer. My friends don't think I'm a spammer. My neighbors don't think I'm a spammer. But Facebook thinks I am because they don't think anybody should be inviting 500 people a week to an event. Sometimes we have 2 events, and I'm trying to invite 2. Anyway, so I have actually 2 Facebook accounts, and one of them is named Cynthia Raxter, and the other one is named Sissy Wilson. They got after me when I had my name up as Cindy Raxter and Cynthia Raxter. They figured out I was the same person. So I have a bogus account called Sissy because I am just inviting so many people to events on Facebook. Y'all don't have to worry about that. Hopefully you will not have to become a community organizer for a small nonprofit and like, the social media guys of the world. But when you create an event on Facebook, one of the magic windows on that event is a share button. It's one of those arrows, is like the little forked piece of wire. And about halfway down is share this event on Messenger. And again, if you click that magic button, share this on Messenger, you'll get that list of people that you know and love that you can share the event to. And you can share it to the USS Barry, to your local church, to the cathedral at St. Paul, the Charleston Coast Guard Station. So again, there's your event with all its pertinent information, links to people's YouTubes that are going to be performing, and here's all your friends and the entire business world that's connected on Facebook. Magic. Let's see. And okay, where am I here? Marketing videos. We have live streaming shows. I hope y'all recognize that lady right there. We went over last June and actually filmed her in her kitchen, telling the Boudreaux and Thibodeau stories. And again, I just clicked, there's a share button. There's the arrow that's pointing out towards the world. I clicked on the share button, and there are my people that I know, my Bynum Church Road neighbors, comedy workshop folks, the town of Bynum, North Carolina, the local Ruritan Club, a fellow named Bynum, and below that is the church, the USS Barry, the Coast Guard Station. So again, if we've got any kind of video, doesn't matter if it's a storybook video for kids, or if it's a art class that we've done online, or a gardening show that we're getting ready to do, or a music show that we've done in the past, or that we're resharing to folks, so we can remind folks that we've still got this quality content out there and they can look at it at any time we want. We can click one of these share buttons and send it out to the world. We just try not to do that so much that we get on people's nerves.
Cynthia, do you have a suggestion on how long? I mean, like, I know that typically if I'm sending in a video to a group that wants to hire me for a festival, I am not sending them more than, absolute maximum 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sending them, something pretty quick, and I guess most other people do similar things.
Right.
So what's your minute limit on stuff you post?
On Facebook, It is unlimited.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, anything. Is there a generalized rule of if you're going to
Yes.
post something, make it
Yes.
under these many minutes?
Yes, there is. Things that are less than 10 minutes do better than things that are longer. Things that are less than 20 minutes do better than things that are 35 minutes. Things that are 45 minutes do better than things that are an hour long. But there's no, on Facebook or YouTube, there is no restriction on the length at all. There are people posting live streams of music on YouTube that go for 3 days at a time. There's sometimes from the International Space Station, they will have a live feed that's just the stars going past and the picture of the Earth going underneath their window, and they'll let it run for
I'm
3
not
or 4
asking you
days.
about how much they require. I'm asking you
How
what is
much?
the suggestion? I mean, I know you can put some on YouTube that takes forever, but on Twitter, like they limit you
Twitter.
to blips, characters. So my impression was that for the purpose of marketing, which is what this is about, a person's ability to look at something is probably under 1 minute, 2 minutes, or 3 minutes, and I don't know that.
3 minutes is max if you're doing like a commercial. Instagram, it has to be less than a minute. Twitter, if I remember correctly, is 2 minutes and 20 seconds. YouTube, we do put up commercials about like our music shows with a link to the performer, to a little bit of their video, how they sing and stuff. Those we make them less than 2 minutes so that they'll go across the board, out on Twitter. And then I just chop them down. I basically just cut them in half to put them up on Instagram. There is a way to put something up to an hour on Instagram, but it goes to Instagram TV. And if it's longer than a minute, it goes to Instagram TV, which is not quite as, is like if you want a commercial, you want it to be played a lot when people are just first logging in every day. So you want it to be played a lot. It means you want it less than a minute on Instagram. So that is some information that I did not share, and I will, in my notes and on my PDF, I will make sure that is noted in the. I'll give you the list because I've got it in my head. But it varies. We do commercials. We do 2 minutes or less, and that's so they'll get on Twitter. Instagram is a minute unless you want to go to Instagram TV. Instagram TV is a limit of an hour. Facebook and YouTube have no limits, but we keep the commercials less than 3 minutes. 2 to 3 minutes. Okay. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. The storytelling shows that we do are an hour and a half. And the music shows can be anywhere from like an hour and 15 minutes to up to 2 hours. So I did a Christmas show that I put out at 10 o'clock Christmas morning, and we looped it, and I looped it for like 6 hours. In other words, it was 45 minutes, and I just let it play over and over and over and over again. And it's had somewhere in the vicinity of about 4,000 views. So, and we still get views on it, even though it's a Christmas program. So, okay. Let's see. I've been talking about this a lot. Use Messenger to share videos to pages like your arts council, your church, your business where filmed, the USAO, all that. I've been talking about that a lot, so I don't need to go into that anymore. And you can get to those on Messenger, I share them with your family. My family, I thought I was maybe bugging them too much because we were doing a lot of live streaming shows, and I thought I was bugging them. And my cousin wrote me and says, "Why aren't you sharing any videos? I haven't seen any of your videos for about 3 weeks now, and I've been missing them." So I started I've been sharing stuff to the Raxter family. All right.
Cynthia, I see where I thought I saw on Messenger where you create a group, or these people you send it to are in your group.
Uh, the Bynum Community Garden, that is a page. Okay. The Bynum Front Porch is a page that's like a business page.
Well, I
Both
mean,
of those,
all those come up when you,
right.
all your
But
Facebook people come
the
up when you
yeah.
do that. What I'm saying is, can you add in Messenger? Can you add other people who aren't Facebook?
Yes, you can. In Messenger, you can. A person does not have to, like my brother doesn't is not a Facebook user, but he's on Messenger. Because we
Okay.
have we have a group called Family, which is all my immediate siblings and their wives and their nieces and nephews and grandkids. Um, I have 6 brothers and sisters, and so I've got a huge, like 36 people are in my immediate family, and so we've got a Facebook Messenger group called Family, and a lot of, especially like my son and no, my son-in-laws, my nephew-in-laws are not on Facebook at all, but they're on that Messenger. It's because that's how our family stays in contact with each other. We're planning a beach trip right now, and I think 26 of the 36 are going. So, and and the four of the 5 people that are not going are in Alaska. You know? So, um, again, I remind you, this go back to our original questions to keep in mind. Who can I help with this news? You're not bugging and irritating and aggravating folks. You're giving them soulful entertainment, which is a product, which is a valuable product, which is very rare in this world. So keep in mind, if you're posting, you're saying, "Oh, I'm going to be." People are going to think I'm posting too much. Just keep asking yourself, "Who can I help with this news?" Um, my next window is actually, I laughed about doing this. Um, the idea is to be soulful but not a pest. You want to be Aunt B arriving with a lemon meringue pie, not Ernest T. Bass throwing rocks through the window. And that's also why you don't want your copy sounding like a commercial on the WRAL 6 o'clock news, or you don't want if you don't want your press releases to sound like someone in corporate America wrote them. You want them to sound like homespun, corny, and you. And don't forget to have fun. Okay. I think one time my neighbor got on to me because I got a subscription. My sister sent me a subscription. This is a couple of months ago to HelloFresh, one of those cooking things, where they send you a box of food and then you cook it and it's delicious. And you don't even have to go to the grocery store. It's all, there in that box for you with the recipe and everything. Well, I just thought it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. And because I was getting good food that tasted better than a restaurant, and because I was really missing, I was getting tired of eating beans and rice, because that's what I eat if I'm not going out to eat. Is I just make a big pot of chili and I'll eat it all week. Well, I was getting tired of my own cooking, so my sister sent me this box from HelloFresh, and they had this thing where you could, if you sent this link to all your friends, they got a $70 box of groceries and you got a $10 gift for sharing it with your friends. And I thought, well, this is awesome. All my friends are probably tired of eating beans and rice too, and they're going to get a free $70 box of groceries, and I'll get a little bit of money off. It wasn't that much; it was $10. I said, this is good. So I sent it to all my friends, all like 750 of them. Well, one of my neighbors wrote back. She said, "Stop spamming me. Don't ever spam me ever again." And I was a little bit hurt by it. And I said, "Well, I'm sorry. I did not intend to spam you. I thought I was giving you free groceries and that you were probably as tired of beans and rice as I was." So sometimes, even when you're doing what you think is a good thing, somebody might think you're Ernest T. Bass and throwing rocks through windows. It Just say, "I'm sorry, I won't bother you again," and move on. You're not hurting anybody. Uh, they'll get over it, and you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. It'll happen.